the Houston Texans as they match up with the second-year man Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their Pro Bowl quarterback in 2018, the guy from Clemson in his third year, Deshaun Watson.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. It's quite a unit, number one in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And he finds Stills, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that. Open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And his throw is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. It's complete. Stills. Touchdown, Houston. Kenny Stills, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible, or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
That's it, baby. We gon' run.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice play.
Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Nice big gain there from Marquise Brown, first-round pick out of Oklahoma. Of course, his cousin knows a thing or two about big catches in the NFL. That's Antonio Brown. And now Hollywood hoping to carry on the family tradition of solid production at the wide receiver position. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle. Defensively, here are the starters for Houston. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4. Watson, the catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Jackson now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ingram again, a first down carry. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season.
Check 26, check 26.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. To Sean Gibson. Give him the sack on the safety blitz.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Keep playing.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Watson. Underneath for Miller. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson setting up the screen for Miller. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Again, it's Watson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 30 big ones.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. It's caught by Roberts. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Seth Roberts, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A reminder that coming up later tonight, a good one on Sunday Night Football. We'll see what could have been a playoff matchup a season ago. The Bears and the Rams from L.A. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football from down in Mexico. Mexico City, to be precise. The Chiefs and the Chargers going at it. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. A final shot before the break. Watson. That's complete once again to Hopkins. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. The Ravens ready to receive it. And they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the 2nd half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They were winners last week against Cincinnati, and right now they are in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. And the 3rd quarter starts with a run by Ingram. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the 2nd half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the 1st half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
Let's go. You tighten up.
They'll try to run for the 1st with Ingram. And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. No gain there as he kept it himself. It's 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line.
They go play action with Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And some room to work. Escapes the defender. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
From the 17. Watson, open man, the tight end fails. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
To throw is Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans have retaken the lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. And Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. Look at the big man rumble. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion is and now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Texans scoop it. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Raven first down. 15 yards there. Jackson now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Short throw underneath to Hurst. Second year with the Ravens for Hurst. He didn't have the rookie season he was hoping for, just 13 catches. Remember, he's older than the average second-year player. He spent 2 seasons as a pitcher in minor league baseball before hanging up the glove and heading to the gridiron. Now he says he's more determined than ever. Put on 20 pounds of muscle in the offseason. Says he's on a mission with a lot to prove this year. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
This has been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he finds Stills, complete. Touchdown, Houston. Kenny Stills, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And after the sack on first down. Jackson under pressure again, and down he goes again. J.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Jackson. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 11. Now Watson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Here's Hill on the return. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
This pass into the arms of Snead, and he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now Jackson. Snead's got it. Now the ball comes loose, and the Texans scoop it. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. First down, a run with Hyde. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Texans, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they will head back home next week.
It's the young